Very scary. In fact, we want to share them with you right now because this is a live look from East Palestine this hour. Look at that dark sky. Now, if you were with us an hour ago, you would remember it did not look like that an hour ago. Do you see that plume of black smoke coming up? It seems to be coming up from chemicals that were on a train that derailed Friday night. This is a controlled situation. Of course, emergency officials have been afraid that those chemicals would cause a huge explosion if they continued to stay in that car, that train car. So an evacuation has been ordered and issued for people who live within a 2-mile radius of that train derailment zone now. But again, what you're looking at is a controlled release of those chemicals. They drilled a hole, they dug a trench, so some of those chemicals can kind of ease their way out. But Governor Mike DeWine said earlier today, hundreds of people who decided to stay in their homes near that scene that you're looking at, they could be arrested if they do not heed that urgent warning to evacuate, which was issued due to the possibility of an explosion. And what you're looking at is a tactic that those emergency personnel are trying to use to avoid that. But here's the thing. The fear right now is what another explosion certainly could do in that area, and it's a specific kind of explosion that is of critical concern. Retired Emergency Management Director for Lorain County, Tom Kelley, just a couple of hours ago told me the situation there is so dicey they wouldn't even dare fly a helicopter over the scene for fear of what is called a BLEVE. That's the acronym for Boiling Liquid Expanding Vapor Explosion. He says in this case, it's a real possibility.
What can happen is there's flame impinging on that tank car, and it's weakening the sides of the tank car. The vinyl chloride, which is possibly what the chemical is very volatile. And once it gets to a certain temperature, then that tank car fails, it can explode. I've seen videos where those tank cars, when they explode like that, can go a mile in the air and come back down. So that's why they've got that evacuation radius set up in the event that that might happen.
I'm sorry, did you say the tank car itself, or the car that it's in itself, can go a mile based
Correct.
on the explosion?
Explode, yeah, and depending on how it explodes, if it blows the end off the car, it becomes a missile. And those tank cars have been known to fly a mile at least and come back down.
So this is why, as you can see, their drones are so valuable to perform the flyover, and they don't want to put a human being in a helicopter that could be vulnerable to being in the line of an explosion if that would happen. Kelley also told me he believes this is hard for emergency management personnel to decipher which train car is the dangerous one tonight.
Problem is, if you look at those videos that were taken from overhead, there's such a jumble of tank cars. Although they know what the manifest was on the train, they're really having a problem knowing which exact car is now laying sideways or twisted or, not in the line of cars where it originally was. So, and then plus they're burned and their markings are probably hard to find. They've got a real issue to deal with right now.
So that's what he's talking about. You look at that and you think, I don't know which car came first. I don't know which car is tipped over. So while we wait to see if, as he says, he believes they're going to kind of let this thing burn out they're hoping it does so without issue. The point is there are people who are waiting far from their homes, wondering when it will be safe to go back. These are people with children. These are people who could have health problems, who don't have family nearby to help house them while they wait. Kelley says that's one of his concerns right now, as well as the environmental impacts that will likely linger in that area. As you've seen from the pictures we were just showing you, the live pictures of how black the sky is, because it seems like the chemicals that are emitting into the air are not going higher and higher and dissipating. You're going to hear more details from Kelley on some of these issues coming up on 3 News at 6.